The harsh truth about dating in Vancouver, which almost nobody is willing to acknowledge openly, is that this city creates a uniquely difficult environment for men. Not because men are doing anything wrong, not because women are villains, but because the cultural atmosphere here turns dating into something cold, competitive, and transactional, where every interaction feels like a quiet job interview instead of a natural human connection. And men end up feeling invisible, unappreciated, and constantly evaluated against impossible standards. Vancouver is beautiful, clean, modern, and safe. But socially, it's one of the most emotionally distant places in North America. And that distance hits men especially hard because the culture doesn't reward masculine presence, confidence, or initiative the way other parts of the world do. Instead, it pressures men to be perfect on paper before they even say hello. Perfect career, perfect stability, perfect confidence, perfect lifestyle. Yet gives them almost no opportunities to actually show their personality because people here rarely smile at strangers, rarely make eye contact, and rarely open up socially. So the dating scene becomes a filtered, high-pressure funnel where women unknowingly become gatekeepers and men feel like they're constantly trying to prove they're good enough. Nobody talks about it, but men in Vancouver live with the feeling that they're interviewing for a position that 100 other guys applied for, and the employer doesn't really care who they hire. The vibe is polite but indifferent, distant but judgmental, competitive but emotionless. Approaching someone in real life feels foreign because the city's culture treats spontaneity like a threat. Everything has to be safe, scheduled, controlled, and filtered through apps where men are reduced to a headshot, a height, and a job title. And if they don't check off the right boxes instantly, they never even get a chance to show who they are. Women aren't the problem. Most Vancouver women are educated, interesting, independent, and ambitious. But the environment pushes them into a mindset where they're constantly filtering, evaluating, comparing, and protecting themselves because the city's culture has trained everyone to be cautious, self-contained, and hyper-independent. And independence is great in theory, but in Vancouver it becomes isolation disguised as empowerment. And the result is that men are expected to perform, provide, lead, and impress, while rarely receiving any warmth, openness, or feminine energy back. It's not that Vancouver women are cold, it's that the city has made everyone emotionally guarded. That's why men suffer the most. Men thrive when there's reciprocation, when effort is noticed, when presence is appreciated, when warmth is exchanged. And Vancouver's dating culture gives men almost none of that. Instead, men feel like they're constantly chasing minimal interest, trying to break into locked friend groups, speaking into emotional walls, or interacting with people who are mentally calculating risk instead of building chemistry. And when men go on dates, the vibe really does feel like an interview. What do you do? Where do you live? What are your goals? How stable are you? Do you have your life together? What are your hobbies? But rarely, who are you? Or what makes you happy? Or what energy do you bring? Or how do we connect as humans? The softness, flirtation, and natural playfulness of dating disappear, replaced by a mechanical, checklist-driven conversation where men try to prove their worth and women try to decide whether the man's resume meets their expectations. And again, it's not anyone's fault. It's the culture of the city. Vancouver is a place where everyone is stressed, busy, renting forever, grinding financially, and hyper-focused on career and self-improvement. So dating becomes another task to optimize, not something to feel deeply. That's why so many Vancouver men say they feel invisible, because they're not being seen as humans with energy, personality, and presence. They're being seen as potential partners who must meet certain criteria before emotional openness is allowed. And this is why men who travel to Thailand, Latin America, Europe, anywhere, are shocked by how different dating feels elsewhere. They experience warmth, softness, attention, and genuine interest, things that Vancouver culture suppresses. In those places, men feel valued for their masculinity, leadership, kindness, and presence.